Tonight on News 5 Live, Colette Area Representative Patrick Faber sacked by the UDP. We'll tell you why the nomination committee denied his application and what, if any, the fallout will be following that decision. The new minimum wage is set to roll out in January. Consultations for the implementation commence this weekend. And a San Ignacio resident is charged with the Independence Day murder of Matthew Smith. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 9 Caribbean Media Awards for 2021. Best Investigative Report, Best News Item, Best Coverage of People with Disabilities, Best Financial Literacy Journalism, Best Videographer, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with 2 special mentions for Financial Literacy Journalism.
Say hello to DigiTV. Step into the world of digital entertainment. DigiTV gives you access to 100+ channels on your TV or your mobile device at unbeatable prices. Take your shows with you wherever you go. It's a new level of freedom. Enjoy your favorite entertainment, sports, family, Latin, and local channels. No more fighting for the TV remote. You can access whenever you want from 2 devices at the same time. DigiTV is for everyone, and with the fastest fiber and mobile networks in the country, you are guaranteed to have the best experience ever. There's no installation required. Sign up for the Max package for only $40 monthly and get the first 2 months for just $30. For a limited time, get 50% off a Fire Stick when you sign up. Download the DigiTV app from the Android or Apple stores. Just WhatsApp us at 608-8888 to sign up. It's that easy. Watch, experience, enjoy DigiTV today.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
My beautiful Belize, my land of the free, my home and it's bound by the Caribbean Sea. Valiant and bold, proud we are strong. Belize we rebound at age 41. Belize we are free and independent. We're free and independent. Free and independent. To be whatever you wanna be. Free and independent. We're free and independent. Free and independent. We're changing our country. We're free. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart.
The entire Smart family wishes all Belizeans a safe and happy September celebrations. Smart, bringing people together.
Belize Commercial Laundry and Linens is a new, automated, state-of-the-art and safety-engineered commercial laundry facility in Belize, offering a full array of top-quality laundry and linen services for Belize's healthcare and commercial sectors countrywide, including hotels, resorts, and restaurants. For more information on how we can serve you, contact us at telephone 227-3396 or info@belizelaundry.com.
The Grid Expansion Program is a BL-funded program which provides power supply to rural communities and urban areas across the country. Many communities have been impacted by this program over the years, such as Laguna and Jordanville in Toledo District, Crooked Tree and Northside Kikaka in Belize District, and Viva Esperanza in Corozal District.
11 years ago when this village was started, they had a little generator and it worked, but the power cost like $3 a kilowatt. They had 10 hours a day of power. And now with this BEL power, there is no more limitation to anything. As my business, I can have my welder weld, I can have the grinders work. Now it's so much better. Okay, and another thing from this 11 years of this community here, it seemed as if this community didn't really grow, but now that we have this power from BEL, it is like if some people open their eyes. We keep having questions. Is there property available? Can we move in? The power is a key for the progress here. Very thankful for the help from BEL.
What is Amnesty 2022? An opportunity for undocumented immigrants living in Belize. Belize wants to help you to live freely and continue contributing to those communities you and your family now call home by offering a pathway to permanent residency. Why should you apply? In doing so, you remove barriers and reduce the difficulties faced living as an undocumented immigrant. Applying is easy. Go online to www.immigration.gov.bz for more information. Find out if you qualify, how to apply, what documents you need, and how to book your appointment. Be prepared. The registration period will be from the 2nd of August to the 30th of November 2022. Belize Amnesty 2022. Let's continue to build Belize together.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, September 23rd. I am Annalyn Apolonio. Colette Area Representative Patrick Fauber is the most senior politician on the opposition bench. The former leader of the United Democratic Party has won his seat as a member of the House of Representatives as many as 5 times since he entered electoral politics almost 2 decades ago. He has also been at odds with the leadership of the UDP ever since he was succeeded by Shine Barrow following a convention on March 27th. The discord between Fauber and his successor subsequently led to his removal from the Central Executive Committee several months later on August 15th. The reason for Fauber's dismissal was his refusal to take down several social media posts that were not favorable to the party. But the shocking news tonight is that Fauber has been rejected by the UDP's nomination committee. In a letter dated September 20th, Fauber was informed that his application for standard bearer for the Colette division had been denied. It cited 7 instances, the most recent being September 18th, when Fauber took his Facebook page to post what are being described as, quote, public attack against the party, unquote. Earlier today, we spoke with UDP Chairman Michael Perfeet, as well as Vice Chairman Alberto August, who has also been vocal about his discontent with the party's leadership. The erstwhile chairman says that the decision to sack Fauber came from 2 individuals within the nomination committee who seemingly did not confer with other executives within the party prior to arriving at that conclusion.
You're talking about an individual, who has a 5-term area representative for the Colette constituency. You're talking about an individual who has gone to every single elected position within the party except for one, but has gone to all the elected positions within the party, from down the bottom straight to the top. The only position that Patrick Faber has not held in the UDP is for the director of women. And that's because he can't hold that. But every single one else, the Honorable Patrick Faber has held. So then how does those 2 or 3 persons decide the fate? And I was made to understand because one time Tracy Panton requested a clarification from the chairman of our party in terms of what is happening, because it doesn't look good, what's happening. And the response that she got from our party chairman is that he checked, because Tracy's question was that the genuine authenticity of the correspondence, and his response was that he checked with the secretariat, and the secretariat informed him that the correspondence is genuine. Sir, you never even have to check. That should have been your role. You should have known about. So you are going to tell me that these 2 persons, sir, made a decision like this in your party, and you had to check with the secretariat? Something has got to be wrong, my friend. Something not smell good.
In an interview with News 5 via phone this morning, UDP Chairman Mike Perfit explained the role of the nomination committee, which is reportedly being chaired by Charlotte Martinez. While he is listed as an ex officio member of several committees within the United Democratic Party, Perfit says that he is not a member of the nomination committee.
Well, whenever an election is imminent, or whenever we are about to choose candidates to run, there's always a special committee called a nominations committee. And that particular committee is responsible for screening and determining the recruitment and approval of party members to run for office in any capacity. So once your name is submitted, as you know, there was a deadline September 30th to submit your name. Once your name is submitted, then the nominations committee is triggered to look at every possible person who wants to run for the UDP. And the nominations committee screens and determines who can run. So in this case, I received a letter yesterday indicating that the nominations committee had decided to inform Mr. Faber that they would not approve his application to run for the UDP.
It is at this point very obvious that, notwithstanding everything that involves Patrick Faber and the contention that is currently taking place within the party, he is arguably the most winningest candidate in the party at this point.
Well, you would have to then ask the nominations committee as to why they came to that decision. I see in the letter that they put there, they alluded to the fact that the National Party Council made a decision to inform people to stop doing things, to which Mr. Faber has continued to do those things. I would have to infer from the letter that those were part of the reasons why they say that he couldn't run. I mean, I guess they are saying that if you're bashing the UDP, then why should you want to run for the UDP?
Is this perhaps the ultimate means of reprimanding him based on the actions that he has taken against the party's wishes?
Well, I don't know. You have to ask the nominations committee, like I said. As chairman of the party, I am an ex officio member of every committee except the nominations committee. So I am not a part of that deliberation, not privy to that deliberation in any way, shape, or form.
Is the decision of the nomination committee final? That's a question we posed to UDP Chairman Perfit earlier today. He referred to a particular clause within the letter written by the chair of the committee to posit that the decision taken may be revisited at another time.
Are these decisions final? I know you're not a member of the nomination committee, but I presume that you have an understanding of how these things work, the mechanics of it. Are these decisions final?
I look at the letter, and I see that the letter say at this time. And I think that has a lot of meaning, even if it was intended to have not a lot of meaning. It has a lot of meaning to say at this time your application has not been approved. I think that leaves room for the nominations committee to say we have reviewed his behavior, we have reviewed what he is doing now, he has complied with the different things that they have in the letter, and then at another time, they can approve it. So I don't think it's final based on what the letter is said. But like I said, I'm not in any of those deliberations. I'm not a part of that committee.
What about the shine factor? Is the continued tailspin of the United Democratic Party the result of poor leadership? According to former UDP chairman Alberto August, working with Shine Barrow has been a challenge, and uniting the fractured party seems to be a daunting task.
Does this situation have to do with the current leadership of the United Democratic Party as to why there has been so much infighting and turmoil since the last convention?
It has everything to do with the leadership of the party. You know, there are some people within the party who are saying, Shine Barrow don't win. Let us move on with reuniting our party. That is what we want to do. We are already beyond that convention. We accept the fact that Shine Barrow is the elected leader for our party. My friend, but his action is not in accordance with uniting the party. We as officials of this party, it's difficult for us to seek to advise him, because when you advise him and it is contrary to what he believes in, then he disregard it and he disrespect you, my friend. How can you unite a party like that? But we really want, our party needs to be united. In fact, the supporters of our party are calling for party unity, my friend.
If I'm not mistaken, you yourself have been threatened expulsion from the party for certain statements you have made that are not in line with what the party would wish or desire of you as an official.
Well, you see, like in my case, it is not about me. Because in the larger scheme of things, I am irrelevant. Right? I don't consider myself to be any kind of top leader of the United Democratic Party. But all I want to see is for our party to be united and to take on its role as an effective opposition to this present administration.
PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher chimed in on the infighting within the opposition, as it is all being played out on social media. He says that he is surprised by the disrespect and all that is happening.
I am surprised first by the level of disrespect being shown between certainly their comrades, you know, because we would never be doing something like that in a PUP, writing these types of letters, blasting on social media. That is not something that is done. I'm surprised too that they're even looking at standard bearers so early in the process. We're at least 3 years away from an election, so you know, to be having standard bearers and getting this process completed so early, it's a bit early, but I can't comment on what they're doing.
Coming up, where is the government on the People's Constitutional Commission? Details when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says it was by faith that Abel brought a more acceptable offering to God than Cain did. Abel's offering gave evidence that he was a righteous man, and God showed his approval of his gifts. Although Abel is long dead, he still speaks to us by his example of faith. There's an old proverb that says, dead men don't talk, but there is insurmountable evidence to prove that they do. Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, and others have long been dead, but they continue to speak to us through their books, their recordings, and the lives that they live. The British jurist Erskine was famous for his eloquence and persuasiveness, yet on one occasion as he tried to speak, he only stammered and hesitated and faltered, and he dropped his head. The court was crowded with spectators who said in their hearts, Erskine has failed. Then a new glow came into his face, and a new inspiration possessed him. He then lifted the people out of their seats with one of the greatest closing presentations his generation had ever heard. When he had finished, the judge left the bench, put his arms around him, and said, Erskine, you have won. The people asked how he did it. He said, as I hesitated, I seemed to hear my mother leaning over the jasper wall saying, "Speak, Erskine, speak." I heard my wife, my children, and my father speak. When I realized those who are depending upon me were calling me, it gave me a new inspiration. So in your times of despair, listen closely, and you will hear your fathers and your mothers and your heroes of faith speak, because dead men do talk. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
The Mega Progressive Jackpot is not $113 to $145. All that cash can change your life, so make sure you don't miss your chance to win it. Purchase your Mega Bingo tickets at the nearest outlet and tune into the next live show, airing this Saturday, September 24th on Channel 5 and Love FM. You can also tune in live on Facebook and YouTube by searching for Belize Mega Bingo. More ways to play make it easier to get in the game and win. So don't miss your opportunity to get your hands on all that cash. And remember, Mega Bingo is the game.
One of the promises of the People's United Party heading into the 2020 general elections was that the minimum wage would be increased from $3.30 to $5 an hour. In his Independence Day speech, Prime Minister John Briceño assured the people who fall in this income bracket that the minimum wage will be increased effective January 2023. Consultations will begin this weekend in San Pedro on how exactly the minimum wage will be implemented. The Minister of the Public Service, Henry Charles Usher, explained to News 5 why the consultations are necessary.
I want to give my 100% support to the increase in the minimum wage. It's something that was in our Plan Belize manifesto. It's something that Cabinet has certainly been working towards for quite some time. And I was happy to hear the Prime Minister announce it in his Independence Day speech that it will take effect come January the 1st. What is happening right now is that they are consulting with the different industries to see how it will be implemented. So it will take effect, but the different industries have different types of workers. You might have shift workers, you might have part-time workers, you might have full-time, different types of employees and contract officers and different things. So you still have to work with these different industries, these different businesses to make sure that it's implemented equally and equitably. So the $5 is coming. The consultation is not to find out if it's coming, because it is coming. It's how it's going to be implemented.
The legislation for the People's Constitutional Commission was tabled in the House of Representatives for first reading in June. Minor amendments were made, and at the next House sitting, the second and third readings will be held and it will be passed into law. Even before June, a lot of work has been done and is ongoing, says Minister Henry Charles Usher, because the Good Governance Unit serves as the secretariat of the Commission. Minister Usher says that it will take about a year and a half for the thorough review of the Constitution. Recommendations will then be taken to the House before going to the people via a referendum.
It's going to be an exercise that will take around 15 months. 15 to 18 months. We want to do widespread consultation. We want to make sure that we hear the views of the Belizean people on a number of issues, not only about the way we're governed or any amendments to the Constitution. It's looking at all the laws and looking at ways that we can improve the governance in this country. After that consultation and research and deliberation, it will then be put in the form of a recommendation, and that recommendation will go to the House. Thereafter, the people will have the final say in the form of a referendum. So it is a well thought out, well crafted process, and we're glad that we're finally getting it going with the passing of legislation soon to come.
On Tuesday, the Belize Water Services Limited and the Belize Water Services Workers Union signed a memorandum of understanding to implement a newly revised collective bargaining agreement. The last CBA expired on November 1st, 2021, and the Labor Department needs to validate the CBA before an official signing can be done. The final draft has already been sent to the Labor Department for proofreading. In the meantime, the MOU guarantees BWSL's employees the benefits outlined in the renegotiated CBA. Hayden Brown, the Human Resource Manager at BWSL, told us more via Zoom.
Normally, at least in our case, once management and union would have come to an agreement, we would sign what we have done. As we have done right now, we have signed an MOU basically to effect the changes that we have agreed with the union in principle. Well, we have agreed, and so these, then we forward it to our CBA with the changes, track changes on, are sent to the Labor Department to go through what they reference as a proofreading to ensure that the document meets labor standards by their regulations. And so, and not to allow the employees not to benefit from what has already been agreed, we signed the MOU so that the company and the employees can enjoy the benefits already agreed. So we are now agreeing with the union this new CBA to be effective 1st April 2022, but we still need to send a document to the Labor Department for their proofreading. And when they are completed that, then the three parties will come together and have a signing somewhere down the road whenever that document is verified. What we have looked at are things better than the law. What we're offering our employees is better than what is in the law. So the law would not interfere, because as long as an employee is getting better than law, there wouldn't be an issue.
About 16 youth volunteers from across the country will take part in a 4-day training in disaster preparedness, spearheaded by the Belize Red Cross Society. The training will be held under an ongoing project called Caribbean Prepared. It comes at a time when Belize is most prone to hurricanes at this time of the year, with a tropical system entering the Eastern Caribbean and different models showing its trajectory heading in our general direction. Red Cross Director General Lily Bowman told News 5 today that the training follows a recent evaluation in the organization's logistics capacity and relief stocks and a communication session last week.
It's a vast training in vast areas, but all connected to preparedness to respond in a time of emergencies. And it couldn't have been more timely because of what we are now, looking to face. We will be supported by the Honduran Red Cross. So the facilitator is a young person from Honduras. We are also, as part of our preparedness, we are also awaiting the import of 2 containers with pre-positioned relief non-food stocks. So, that is going to be or allowing us to pre-position the branches as well. So in case of, we don't know where an event would happen, we don't know if it will, what part of the country it would land if it is to come our way. And so we want to be prepared. They are trained in definitely search and rescue. We have groups in so many communities, over 100 communities that have been trained to act in search and rescue and how to manage an EOC, which is an emergency operating center. Relief and supplies, they're managing warehousing, they are trained in pretty much everything.
After the break, a fire in Belize City leaves a family of 11 homeless. We'll have that and more when we come back.
A pleasant good evening, Belize, from the National Meteorological Service with your weather report and forecast for tonight, Friday, September 23rd. I am Ronald Gordon. After another night of showers and thunderstorms developing over the southern parts of the country during the night, conditions became relatively quiet during the afternoon, except over the Belize City area, where some showers and thunderstorms developing offshore caused skies to darken later this afternoon. In terms of what we can expect going forward for tonight, there will be a few more showers developing over the Punta Gorda area later early in the night, moving up along the coast, affecting Placencia, Dangriga, and eventually the rest of the country during the early morning hours. If you are spending your weekend out in the west, you will wake up to some very cool temperatures of about 70 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning. Whereas if your weekend is over the Keys, you can expect lows of about 78 Fahrenheit early tomorrow morning. In terms of our forecast for tomorrow, Saturday, early in the morning, there will be some light showers persisting, especially over the central and northern parts of the country, including your San Ignacio, Belmopan, Belize City, and over the northern parts of the country, Orange Rock and Corozal. Your temperatures for tomorrow, the highs will be about 94 Fahrenheit down in San Ignacio, 93 in Belmopan, but a relatively cool 85 degrees Fahrenheit in Belize City and along other coastal parts of the country, including over the Keys. Looking forward to the next 4 days, if you're planning your outdoor activity for this weekend, especially during Saturday, the advice is for you to do so in the afternoon, as we expect a few showers during the morning, with conditions become sunny during the afternoon hours. On Sunday, we expect generally fair conditions for most of the day. However, as we approach the new work week, the effect of the tropical system approaching the area will induce a west-northwesterly wind, causing strong daytime or high daytime temperatures, which will induce some thunderstorm activity during the afternoon. Inland, which will spread to the coast during the nighttime. A similar pattern is expected to repeat on Tuesday. In terms of the tropics, conditions remain very, very quiet across the Gulf of Mexico at this moment, and also over most of the northwestern Caribbean Sea, except for over the Gulf of Honduras, where a few scattered showers and thunderstorms are occurring. Further to the north, Hurricane Fiona is moving out of our area of reference. However, of more interest to us is the newly formed tropical depression number 9, which, as of this afternoon, was moving to the west-northwest at 15 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. The forecast is for the system to strengthen overnight and may become a tropical storm. The track for this system is for it to move to the west-northwest at first, shift a bit more to the west later on, and then move to the northwest towards western Cuba. It is important that we continue to monitor the system very closely, as it is in our area of interest. However, all indications are that the system will not pose a direct impact on the country. In terms of our marine conditions, winds are out of the east to northeast tonight at 5 to 15 knots, shifting more to the northeast tomorrow, with light waves of 1 to 4 feet and slight sea conditions. Therefore, if you're planning a key trip this weekend, your boat ride should be relatively smooth. In terms of our astronomical conditions, we're expecting a low tide at 2:48 tomorrow morning, a high tide at 8:54, a low at 3:38 again tomorrow afternoon, and a high at 9:26 tomorrow night. That sunrise will be at 5:41 tomorrow morning, and if you want to catch the sunset, it should be at 5:47. Your moonrise is at 4:34, moonset at 5:19 in the evening. And that's it, folks, from the National Meteorological Service. I am Ronald Gordon. Join us again on Monday for another weather report and forecast. Have a pleasant, enjoyable, and restful weekend.
Be late, baby, don't back down.
to my life. Mansion house whenever. We ain't gonna live forever. We just wanna live while we're alive. Go to my life. My heart is open like a highway. Please and say I did it my way. We just wanna live while we're alive. Go to my lights.
What is Amnesty 2022? An opportunity for undocumented immigrants living in Belize. Belize wants to help you to live freely and continue contributing to those communities you and your family now call home by offering a pathway to permanent residency. Why should you apply? In doing so, you remove barriers and reduce the difficulties faced living as an undocumented immigrant. Applying is easy. Go online to www.immigration.gov.bz for more information. Find out if you qualify, how to apply, what documents you need, and how to book your appointment. Be prepared. The registration period will be from the 2nd of August to the 30th of November 2022. Belize Amnesty 2022. Let's continue to build Belize together.
My beautiful Belize, my land of the free, my home and it's bound by the Caribbean Sea. Valiant and bold, proud we are strong. Belize we rebound at age 41. Belize we are free and independent. We're free and independent. Free and independent. To be whatever you wanna be. Free and independent. We're free and independent. Free and independent. We're changing our country. We're free. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart.
The entire Smart family wishes all Belizeans a safe and happy September celebrations. Smart, bringing people together.
Everything must come to an end. A much needed vacation, or even a good book. What about the world? How will it end? Should we be worried about the end? Frightened even? What does the Bible actually say about the end? Tune in right here as we discuss the end.
The National Fire Service has concluded its investigation into a fire near Holy Manuel Street in Belize City, and the result points to an electrical flaw. Just before 2 o'clock in the wee small hours of Thursday, as the Belial family slept inside their homes in the family yard, a fire broke out in the largest structure. The blaze spread quickly, consuming all 3 wooden structures, and within minutes, everything was lost. The family of 11, consisting of 5 adults and 6 children, escaped with only the clothes on their backs and are now without a roof over their heads. Earlier today, News 5 spoke with Station Supervisor Kenneth Mortis of the National Fire Service about the incident.
When our team of firefighters arrived, we found what were the remains of 3 wooden structures of various sizes. All these 3 structures had already been consumed by the fire, which led our team into a defensive mode so as to prevent this fire from spreading to nearby structures, which we successfully did. After the fire was extinguished, we launched an investigation, which we learned that these 3 structures situated in what was called the family yard of the Belial family A total of 11 people were displaced by this fire, 5 adults and 6 children, age range 3 months to 63 years. What we learned was that the fire started from the larger of the 3 structure, which was an approximate 18 by 25. The fire started from the bedroom portion of that building and then consumed the other 2 structures, unfortunately.
Has the investigation been done to determine the cause of the fire?
We did conduct an investigation, and unfortunately we have to report that this fire was started as a result of an electrical flaw. Apparently the investigators confirmed that the main structure the fire started from, they were distributing electricity to the other 2 small structures. Again, this is a misfortunate event whereby your life's work went down in flames in a matter of minutes. We learned that the larger structure, the occupant had just recently added an addition to that structure, only less than, or just about a month more or less, so it didn't take long for her hard-earned investment to go up in flames. I say unfortunate because these type of fires that start as of an electrical flaw has become more and more rampant throughout the city, in various parts of the city. Whether that main structure had legal electricity from BL and then decided to distribute it to the other 2 structures or not, you know, it goes to show the magnitude when someone tampers with electricity, so to speak.
And while Mortis was speaking with News 5, a team of firemen was deployed to Rockville at mile 21 on the George Price Highway, where a concrete house was on fire. He gave us preliminary details of the fire.
This information has just been received to us while we speak. Like you rightfully mentioned, I have a truck with 4 team members. We received a call from the police department of a structural fire in Rockville, which sits approximately 20 to 21 miles on the Western Highway. We will await confirmation if such, and I will definitely give you a feedback as soon as the information trickles down.
We later learned that a concrete building was completely destroyed by the blaze. Reports are that no one was at home prior to the fire. Investigators have concluded that this fire is as a result of an electrical flaw. The occupants of this were allegedly accessing direct current from BL's pole. Police have made an arrest in connection with the murder of 29-year-old San Ignacio resident Matthew Smith. The murder suspect has been identified as Christian Kelly, a 22-year-old resident of Roman Catholic Street in San Ignacio town. As we reported, Smith was stabbed to death on Independence Day while attending an event at the McCall River Park. According to police, Smith got into an altercation with a group of men outside the park. It was during that altercation the suspect allegedly stabbed him with a sharp object. Police linked that fatal incident to another fight involving Smith that took place the night before. 5 small business owners will be receiving $10,000 each in seed funding from the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust. It is a sizable amount of money being granted to the second cohort of BNE Charitable Fund's Dare to Dream initiative. Hundreds of entrepreneurs from the 6 districts will first participate in an entrepreneurship and innovative lab program. From the trainees, 5 participants will be selected to receive the $10,000. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Entrepreneurs from across the country are getting an opportunity to compete for much-needed seed funding from the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust. Lindsberg Smith, the owner of Smith's Natural Blend, is among the businesses competing for the funds. We spoke with him at the BNE Charitable Trust Entrepreneurship and Innovative Lab Program at the Hub Resource Center in Belize City.
Well, I think some of the takeaways is 1, the capacity for growth, 2, the opportunities for financing to expand, and what is the next step. For me, I am very comfortable I don't fear the competition. And that's because I know my product. I know what I'm doing. I know the quality of what I'm producing. And my product is really solving a need, And so I realize that because I do my research, there's no need to fear.
The Entrepreneurship and Innovative Lab program will be taken to all 6 districts. During the course, participants will learn key business lessons that will ensure the longevity of their brands. The Belize Institute for Service Excellence Leadership and Research has partnered with the Trust to train these business owners.
Today we'll be working through the entire business plan between today and tomorrow and helping entrepreneurs to understand business a little better, to craft their vision and their mission, to look at their marketing, at what is their target audience. And a most important question that we had them answer this morning is why? Why are you doing this? For a lot of them, the obvious reason is, well, I need to make some more money. But that's not your real why, right? The bigger picture, 5 years from now, what is it that your business seeks to do? Where do you see yourself?
Of the total candidates, 25 participants will be selected to pitch their business ideas to a B&E Shark Tank style panel. The Trust will award 5 winners $10,000 each in seed funding.
It's going to be sort of Shark Tank style, whereby they're going to pitch their idea to the panel. We're going to look at it based on the point system and everything, and they will be awarded seed capital of up to $10,000. Separate from that, of course, there's still a business training that they get, that everyone gets at no cost whatsoever. So we find that it's designed that people walk with something that will impact them and allow them to grow. And for us, it's looking at how they grow, which in turn impacts the community, which we believe can impact our country.
In his Independence Day speech, Prime Minister John Briceño noted that MSMEs will be the driving force behind an extensive surge in economic expansion and prosperity. These small business owners are contributors towards that end.
Entrepreneurship is alive and well in Belize, and what I see is that entrepreneurial spirit. And I believe it's very important that we try to build that spirit, to help people to not lose faith, to understand that it's going to be a challenge, but to provide that support. One of the things that we're trying to enforce today is to help people to understand that sometimes you're going to have to start where you are, and you might not have all the resources, all the money, but don't let that be a hindrance in the beginning. Yes, you need money to move forward, but is there somewhere you can start? But I believe entrepreneurship is alive and well.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Just before news time, Prime Minister John Briceño addressed the 77th United Nations General Assembly at the UN headquarters in New York. At the opening of his address, PM Briceño discussed the ongoing international conflict between Ukraine and Russia, the rise in global poverty rates, food security, and the climate crisis that small island developing states like Belize are fighting. Here are those remarks.
I take this podium with a heavy heart, more pessimistic than I was last year, more cynical and disappointed. We have come to depend on a multilateral system that has as its center the charter of this, our United Nations. Where is the collective will to adequately address the challenges of our time? Where is the shared conviction to work together for the betterment of mankind? Where is the hope? Today, there are conflicts on several continents. Geopolitical tensions are heightened. The unjustified, unprovoked, and illegal attack on Ukraine by the Russian Federation has shaken the foundations of the multilateral system. This is wrong. The consequential crises we face are not confined to the battlefield in Europe. They are global and affect us all. Democratic norms and human rights, even where thought to be firmly rooted, are being rolled back. Poverty is on the increase. The planet is being destroyed by climate change. and international cooperation and solidarity have been supplanted by nationalism and unilateralism. Global market prices for food and petroleum remain volatile, reaching historic highs earlier this year. The lingering impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and persistent supply chain disruptions have contributed to skyrocketing inflation. These economic realities exacerbate an already acute social situation in Belize. Poverty is estimated to have risen by 10% between 2018 and 2021. 45.5% of Belizeans are estimated to be moderately to severely food insecure, and homicides are on the rise again. The post-pandemic recovery we anticipated is delayed, and the chorus of promises and commitments to pivot towards building back better, to getting the recovery right, have yielded little. Instead, global action and inaction have only resulted in deepening the many crises that we are facing.
We will air the entirety of the Prime Minister's address following tonight's newscast. When we return, Belizean companies are now able to export agricultural products to Mexico tax-free.
Start your engines now for the National MSME Roadshow, geared towards building the resilience of MSMEs and developing a national MSME directory. Sign up for this 3-day event filled with intensive boot camps, presentations, MSME support and formalization clinics, pop-up shops, and more to help you develop and promote your business. The National MSME Roadshow will be in Corozal starting August 24th, Orange Walk August 31st, Belize City September 7th, Punta Gorda September 14th, Key Cocker September 22nd, Belmopan September 28th, San Ignacio and San Helena on October 5th, Dangriga October 12th, Placencia October 19th, and closes in San Pedro from October 26th. Learn more and sign up for the National MSME Roadshow by visiting the Beltrade Facebook page or call or WhatsApp us at 613-5139. And let's get your business on the road.
If you have a baby on the way, here is what you need to know about maternity benefit. It includes both an allowance for 14 weeks and a grant, which is a lump sum of $300. The basic requirements are: you must be employed, you must have at least 50 paid contributions, and you must have continuous contributions leading up to delivery. To apply, a licensed doctor certifies the expected date of delivery. The employer completes the salaries record. Submit your completed claim form as soon as possible. After giving birth, submit your continuation claim no later than 3 weeks after delivery. If the mother does not qualify, the father of the child may qualify for the maternity grant. Want to know more about maternity benefit or grant? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
My beautiful Belize, my land of the free, my home and it's bound by the Caribbean Sea. Valiant and bold, proud we are strong. Belize we rebound at age 41. Belize we are free and independent. We're free and independent. Free and independent. To be whatever you wanna be. Free and independent. We're free and independent. Free and independent. We're changing our country. We're free. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart.
The entire SMART family wishes all Belizeans a safe and happy September celebrations. SMART, bringing people together.
My name is Dr. Marcelo Coy, and I'm an obstetrician and gynecologist at Belize Medical Associates. Pregnant women are at risk of getting infected with the COVID-19 virus and are at higher risk to develop severe complications and illnesses. The COVID-19 vaccine is safe to use during pregnancy. All pregnant women should get vaccinated to protect themselves and their newborn. Visit any vaccination site and get vaccinated.
Last week, the Belize Bus Association raised the issue over what it said was the practice of buses from neighboring countries running through Belize and picking up other passengers along the same route, which affects their business. These buses were running routes through Belize with specific destinations prior to the COVID pandemic, but the runs have not resumed. News 5 spoke with Belize's ambassador to Mexico, Oscar Arnold, who said that the talks over these runs will come up very soon.
I know that in the border towns, especially in bordering Melchor and Petén and in Quintana Roo, in the state of Quintana Roo in Mexico, some of our local bus operators do run to Chetumal, or did run to Chetumal. There's a new governor for the state of Quintana Roo who will be soaring over this weekend, I believe. And I do think that there will be some talks surrounding what can be allowed and what will be permitted. I know that the Minister of Transport, the Honorable Rodwell Ferguson, is very engaged, and he's on the ground. He's an individual who tries to keep his thumb on the pulse. And so I believe that those talks will continue to try to benefit both sides of the border. I know that Mexico has certain laws for buses or the type of buses that can traverse on their federal highways and as well in certain municipalities. I don't know if that's where the issue is concerned, but I know that it's something that we will be, that he will look at and can speak to. We will try to facilitate as the mission here in Mexico City to have those discussions with the federal and the state entities to try to ensure that there's a free flow, not only of tourists, but of Mexican nationals who also want to visit Belize, because there's a new appreciation for the type of friendship and the type of camaraderie that we have across both borders. And so we have to ensure that there's a free movement, free flow of individuals that can benefit both Belize and Mexico.
Minister of Transport Rodwell Ferguson has said that bus operators from Guatemala and Mexico have expressed their interest in returning to our roads, but that he has made it clear to them that Belize will only reciprocate what their countries allow our buses to do. Since the land borders and seaports reopened in February, there has been a significant number of irregular migrations into Mexico, prompting Mexican authorities to quickly step in and repatriate illegal migrants back to Belize. Ambassador Arnold says that sometimes minors are caught up in these circumstances because of the decisions of their parents or guardians, and then added measures have to be followed to ensure their well-being and protection.
I think we had one as recent as last week, Thursday. And that case was I think a family member had put it out first on social media, and then it gained traction from there. And we had received reports from the immigration authorities here in Quintana Roo, and then from their federal side of the government, that we did have an individual who was held, but who would have been repatriated. And I think now he's back home. We do have as well some minors who have been caught up in the system along traveling with their parents. And whenever those instances come up, then we usually get in touch with the Human Development Office and the office that is responsible for that on the Belize side, and try to coordinate their repatriation as well. I will, however, try to encourage Belizeans, please, if you're going to cross the borders, please do so formally. Please checking at the immigration on the Belize side and as well as on the Mexican side. That way we have a record if in the event there's anything that takes place. The embassy and our consulates across Mexico can be of assistance.
When Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador visited Belize in May, it opened the way for greater trade relations to occur between our two countries. Soon after Obrador returned to Mexico, he signed a document that allows for Belizean agricultural producers to export their products to Mexico tax-free. Ambassador Arnold shared that has piqued the interest of quite a few Belizean companies.
We've seen quite a few companies trying to take advantage of that. We've had meetings set up with some of the buyers and some of the vendors here in Mexico City. So we're hoping that in the very near future, we will have some of those products penetrating the Mexican market more than what we had before.
11 years ago, on September 21st, 2011, Joshua Abraham, a 9-year-old student, was fatally shot on Victoria Street in Belize City. In the wake of his senseless killing, his mother, Marcia Argaius, worked to revitalize a neighborhood park on North Front Street, which had been left abandoned. Multiple attempts were made, but today the Victoria Alvarez Park was officially inaugurated in honor of the slain child, with hopes that it will serve as a safe space for young people from Fort George and Pickstock divisions. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
We are going to cut the ribbon for the Victoria Alvarez Park dedicated in memory of Joshua Abraham. 3, 2, 1. A round of applause, please, as this park is now officially open.
A short ribbon-cutting ceremony was held this morning to officially reopen the Victoria Alvarez Park on North Front Street in the Fort George Division. The park is being opened in honor of Joshua Abraham, a youth from the area who was callously murdered back in 2011.
It's a blessing to my heart. It's a blessing from I have lost Joshua in 2011. That was my greatest desire. We didn't even have the fence up anymore. The swings had gone. The benches, and they were, everything had just dismantled. Everything. I don't know how or whatever happened, but it was really down. And then whenever I come by, I would see the kids just playing, nothing to play with. And I was saying, man, I got to put in some work and try. But then Mr. Usher, he reached out to me and said, Marcia, I want to do something with the park. I was so happy. I said yes. No, I assure the community that we're back.
For Fort George Area Rep Henry Charles Usher, the newly retrofitted space is more than just a park.
A park is more than just a place for children to come and play. It's a safe space. It's a place for them to be creative. It's a place for them to feel that they are a part of the community. And that's why this is a community area for the communities of Pickstock and Fort George to be a part and to be one. So certainly this was one of our very first initiatives, our very first projects that we wanted to accomplish using the community development funds that the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance was able to secure for all area representatives in all constituencies.
Abraham's mother, Marcia Argaius, says that the park will now be the venue for many community activities, and Minister Usher believes that the possibilities are endless.
They need some place. They can't always be on the street. People would say, oh, they always hang out on the street, but where will they go? You understand that? And so now they did a basketball court, and every evening you see the guys are going in line, and it's a blessing, and I thank God, and I pray that they will do the upkeeping, and Joshua's life is still going. His memories is still there, and it's back.
So definitely we are going to see more activities happening.
Yes, I'm planning. Christmas is coming. Right, Christmas is coming, so my preparations will start now.
We certainly want to call on the community to assist us in keeping the park clean, keeping all of the equipment in place. And we want to do more in the park. We want to have a basketball tournament here soon. We want to maybe do a urban garden area here in the park, a storybook area where the kids can come in learning and so on. So there's a lot more that we want to do, and with time we will get it done.
There was also support from the Belize City Council. Mayor Bernard Wagner handed over a check of $3,000 to the Fort George Committee to assist with the community initiative.
We have to be able to, as leaders, as a government, as a city council, continue to create safe spaces, inclusive spaces, because it has to be, when you create these spaces, that the people who live in the immediate area be a part of it, because then they take ownership of it.
The total cost of the project is $18,000 and included the installation of the basketball court, upright and rim, as well as the swing set. The fence was also repaired and a mural painted. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Just ahead, Coconut Boy, Prince of Brockton Music.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
B-Bucks by Benny's, Belize's newest multi-brand rewards program. To access B-Bucks, download the mobile app or access the website portal at bbucks.bz and set up your account. If you already have a Benny's account, chances are you already have B-Bucks. Don't let them go to waste. To earn B-Bucks, make a purchase at any Benny's location or at any of these Benny's entities, namely Island Freight Forwarders, Best Manufacturing, Benquip, and B-Mart. Once B-Bucks are earned, reward yourself. Use B-Bucks to buy items or exchange for cash. You can also double, triple, or even quadruple your B-Bucks on promotional days. It is simple. Purchase, earn, redeem. Loyalty is always rewarding with B-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the split the bill button where he selects the evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
When you hear Coconut Boy, it's usually associated with a makeshift weapon used by the Baymen in the battle against the Spaniards on St. George's Key. But these days, it's associated with a household broke-down artist. This week, Sabrina Daly had a sit-down with well-known Calypsonian Coconut Boy.
I am proud to be a believer because I know where I came from.
Since 2014, Cecil Jenkins Jr. became an added voice of the broke-down music legacy. His loyal fans know him by his stage name Coconut Boy. His path in music began at the age of 17, a teenager embracing the sounds and culture of his heritage.
I never really know what I'm going into, but when I perform, I want to hear a name called at first place, Cecil Jenkins Jr., aka, and that vibes, that spike, you know, the feedback from the fans, from the crowd, people will just know you. And that motivate me, that really move me and motivate me to go again next year.
8, 6, 7, I said square by from the rear up to the stars.
He made his debut as an artist at the September Celebrations Junior Song Competition in 2014. His success in winning propelled him to participate and subsequently win several years after, including senior in 2015 and 2016, then senior in 2018 and 2019 respectively. He was also recognized as Broke-Down Artist of the Year in 2017. The gifted young Calypsonian shared with me the detailed genesis of his love of Broke-Down. What many don't know, it started from the nudge of his high school art teacher.
He was our art teacher at the time, and I can't forget because at the end of the day, if I never see he, you know, I never may be the person I am today, and I'm glad to know that, you know, a man like him, he saw a vision in me that I never seen in myself. So, and when I start to do my little research homework about the culture, Creole culture, Broke-Down music, you know, Mr. Peter, Mr. Lila Vernon, Lord Rayburn, Brother David, people who paved the way, you know, Broke-Down music-wise, you know, and so I start to dive in at a certain spot, and that just said, well, boy, nobody else will do it young like me. You know, at the age 17, going on to 18, nobody do it. Everybody want to do dancehall, soca, hip-hop, but I choose Broke-Down because I say, Broke-Down music, the Creole culture, and I know culture always sell.
All things shall perish from under the sky, music alone shall live. So when we dead and gone, we Broke-Down won't live on. And now that the younger ones, they start doing it, they could lay claim to something that Belize, that is Belizean.
We tired of this claiming from Guatemala. We tired of this fighting with Guatemala.
The uniqueness of the genre makes for interaction between artist and audience, but the poetic play on words is also one of the key things that intrigue listeners most.
Over the years, Lord Rayburn as one of the main pioneers who either say motivate me and start to make I ask what he is saying in the song, or what the song they say, or what he mean. And then it could mean one thing, it could be about the way how he arrange it lyrically, you know, and that was something where I start to suck in. And that's something where people are say, no man, this song a song to, you know, this song a song raw. This is a part of the secret in a Broke-Down music. You could sing about anything, but how you sing it. Not only that, You know, I sing a song where, when I hear the song, you know, remember nothing about the song, like you have a hit play. Was one time you play that song, something, the vibes, the beat, the hook, you know, the hook that was the main thing.
Release that for me home, I cannot leave it. Release that for me home, no matter where I'm at.
And while every musician has their loyal fans, the exceptionality of singing a genre like Brockdown is that it connects different generations. For Cecil, his top fan is his grandma.
My mother now, she always support me endlessly, but my grandmother, she's the one who doing the sewing, who always get the kids together for the stage show, for my choreographing. She are like the backbone. And anything I need, sewing-wise, advice-wise, Grand, what do you think about this? You think I look good in this? She said, no, make we put this on, make we. And I end up to do a song with her.
When he do his first song, I support him up until the last song we do. In 2019, in August 2019, yeah. And now he bring us one next one where, ooh, I love him bad. The Reketeng, Reketeng, that is the song I love. He teach me the dance and the song and everything. We practicing at the back of the yard there. And when we gone the orange walk, we get down to business and we start to sweat and thinking me afraid. But when I listen to everybody and I tell him, we got this man, we don't win this song. You can't me, he, she, he. All of we gone together. And we
as
come
a
back.
family and perform?
All of them were, yeah, that's my family, a family member. And when we come back home with the championship.
Reason people, September and the season, me not hide. When the time come, me not shit. I am proud to be a Belizean, because I know where I came from. There is no other place for me, no other place for me like my sweet home Belize.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Annalyn Apollonia. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.